As the movie begins, a pregnant woman named Natalia is shown. Then comes the time of her delivery. Alina, Natalia's mother, is also present. Natalia's condition is starting to cause her discomfort. Her mother immediately takes her to the hospital. Due to the late hour, most doctors are absent. However, a nurse is attending to her. Soon, Natalia gives birth to a child. But when they see the baby, everyone is shocked and concerned. Because what they witness is unbelievable. The baby begins to float in the air. Natalia is stunned. She then tells her mother that an angel baby has been born into their home. Being experienced and wise, Natalia's mother realizes that this child is not normal. And it's true, the baby was born without gravity. Feeling unsafe, they decide to leave the hospital. Even though the nurse tells them it's not time for discharge, they ignore her and head home. As they enter the house, Natalia's mother asks her a strange question. She asks if Natalia remembers the child's guardian, but Natalia cannot recall anything. Then her mother says, "This child is not normal. We must keep it a secret. If anyone finds out, we could face serious problems." They name the child Oscar. And indeed, Oscar is not like other children. Raising him isn't easy. He sticks to the ceiling for long periods whenever left alone. His grandmother creates special straps to keep him grounded. They also make the ceiling soft and cushioned so he won't get hurt. They're constantly worried that if left alone outside, Oscar might float away into the sky. So they're extremely cautious. Oscar is lovingly raised by his mother and grandmother. He grows up, but he remains inside the house. His grandmother does not allow him to go outside. He spends his time watching Superman cartoons. He often imagines himself as a superhero. Oscar repeatedly asks his mother Natalia why they won't let him go outside. But she avoids answering. He watches people through the window, kids like him going to school. He looks at them with longing eyes, dreaming of freedom. He begins to feel like he's imprisoned in the house forever. One day, frustrated by the confinement, Oscar tries to escape through a window. His grandmother catches him and becomes furious. Seeing this, she seals all the windows. She firmly tells Oscar that he will never go outside like school-going children. He will study at home. Hearing this, Natalia becomes upset. She says, "How long will we keep him locked up? One day he will have to go out." Then Natalia brings a jacket for Oscar and puts 2 stones in its pockets so that he won't float away. Ignoring her mother's warnings, she takes Oscar outside. She warns Oscar to keep his secret, even from Superman, or he'll lose his powers. Once, while out shopping with his mother, Oscar accidentally bumps into a little girl. Her name is Agatha. Her items fall from her hands, and she shouts at Oscar. She hands him 2 water bottles and says, "This is your punishment. You must carry these to my house." Oscar refuses at first, but gives in when Agatha insists. Without telling his mother, he goes with her. Now, with 2 heavy water bottles in his hands and stones in his pockets, Oscar feels slightly heavy. So he takes the stones out of his pockets and drops them. Oscar and Agatha become friends. When they reach her house, Agatha asks him to return the water bottles. But Oscar refuses, because he knows the moment he lets go, he'll start flying again. Agatha, being immature, snatches the water bottles from Oscar. As soon as she takes the bottles, Oscar begins to float in the air. Luckily, the area is enclosed, so he doesn't fly too high. Agatha is left stunned at the sight and starts shouting, calling him Superman. Oscar asks her for help. Hearing him, Agatha quickly runs into her house and returns with her pink bag filled with stones. It was a smart idea. They would put the stones in his pockets to weigh him down. Their plan works, and Oscar slowly descends. From that moment, they become best friends. Oscar then says to Agatha, "Promise me, you'll keep this a secret." Meanwhile, Natalia and the grandmother are extremely worried due to Oscar's disappearance. They search everywhere and start fearing that he may have floated away. His mother finds the stones she had placed in his pockets lying on the ground. Soon, Oscar returns home carrying Agatha's bag and tells his mother about her. His mother asks, "Did you reveal your secret to her?" Oscar lies and says, "No, I didn't." Oscar and Agatha continue to meet for several days. But one day, Natalia discovers that Agatha actually knows the secret. She forbids Oscar from seeing her again. Agatha still comes to Oscar's house, but Natalia sends her away from the doorstep. Gradually, people in the neighborhood grow suspicious. They begin to think that Oscar's mother and grandmother mistreat him. They notice he never comes outside and doesn't go to school either. Eventually, they report the situation to the police. The police arrive the next day and issue a warning, insisting that Oscar must be sent to school. Under pressure, Natalia agrees. She accompanies Oscar to school. Deep inside, they both know Oscar will never be able to live a normal life. As they drop him off at school, their eyes fill with tears. Natalia, understanding the danger, decides they must leave the area. They move to a distant place, leaving their home behind. Many years pass. Oscar grows up, his mother has grown old, and his grandmother has passed away. Oscar still has the same pink bag Agatha gave him. He never lets it go, not even while sleeping. His life remains the same, isolated and full of secrecy. Oscar and his mother take care of each other. But Oscar becomes bored and frustrated. He is tired of hiding. He thinks, "If the world knows about me, I'll become famous like my hero, Superman. Books will be written about me." But his mother doesn't want that. She tells him it won't happen, and she fears losing him if the world finds out the truth. For his mother's sake, Oscar stays quiet. But one day, he runs out of the house without telling her. He goes to a magic show, wanting to reveal his talent for the first time, a place where people show their hidden gifts. That night, the show becomes a sensation. Even Oscar's mother watches it. But now she is helpless. Oscar has been seen by many people on TV and gains attention. The next day, he meets a man named David, an agent. David promises to make Oscar famous. We'll create events that will draw huge crowds, he says. He even gives Oscar a big house and gets him to sign a contract. Oscar, chasing fame, agrees. He begins to perform in major shows and stuns everyone with his unique gift. Very quickly, Oscar becomes a well-known public figure. He is now called the man without gravity. The people managing him enjoy great success and earn a lot of money. But over time, Oscar realizes something painful. His childhood dream of becoming a superhero was never fulfilled. Instead, he has become a puppet, used by others for entertainment. One day he's called for a magic show, another day for a TV event. Though many books are written about him, he begins to dislike the life he's living more and more. Many magazines were published and documentaries aired, all painting Oscar's mother and grandmother in a bad light, something Oscar couldn't stand. At his final show, they even costumed him as an angel, a role he despised. "I'm not an angel," he shouted, berating the audience. Backstage, he told his mother he was quitting for good. Facing his agent, he said, "Enough. I don't want fame anymore. My act ends tonight." "You can't just walk away," the agent protested. "Then tell the world the man without gravity is dead or that he's floated off into the sky," Oscar replied. He said a tearful goodbye to his mother and slipped away to begin a new, hidden life. Headlines soon announced the death of the man without gravity, and rumors flew. Reporters camped outside Natalia's door, but she revealed nothing. Years later, she passed away, still keeping her son's secret. Oscar, meanwhile, stayed alive under a new identity. He grew a long beard, used a wheelchair to disguise his gift, and worked quietly as a hotel receptionist. Colleagues treated him kindly, unaware of his past. One day he crossed paths with Agatha. She recognized him instantly. The pink bag of stones from their childhood was still slung over his shoulder, the very weight that kept him grounded. Neither had ever married. Although happy to reunite, Agatha confessed she felt empty. Her life had revolved around earning money, nothing more. She often arrived at the hotel on the arm of different men, and the sight pained Oscar. He tried many times to share his feelings, but she, hardened by disappointments, brushed him off. Still, his love for her endured. Eventually, they reconciled, married, and returned together to their childhood home. And that is where the story ends.